Oh yeah, man. The bully stopped by last week. I don't know where that came from, just out of the blue. I told him, hey, hit me up if you want to be on again. Just let me know. But they're usually busy. Hey everybody, it's the
Yeah.
pre-show where we talk about what we're gonna do on the show. Uh, man, I had a great long weekend. I took Thursday and Friday off just because July was just so terrible, and I was like, okay, getting into August finally. July's done, and then it hits us with fucking Nichelle Nichols
Oh yeah.
today. We'll learn about that. Man, that's horrible
That
fucking
is
news, dude.
that is some bad news.
I mean, she was old, I mean, it's hard because it happens, old people pass away. It really sucks.
Well,
yeah, definitely. Andy chiming in the chat. Thanks for stopping by.
well,
Recipes.
all
But
the
still, it
originals,
was a shocker. It was a
of
shock.
all the originals cast, I figured she and George Takei would be the last two standing.
Yeah. Well, what's his name still around?
Is Walter Cohen?
Yeah, Walter Cohen. Man, maybe
He's still around. No, he's still around.
That's good.
I in all
Don't
honesty,
say
I
it.
figured
Don't
I
say
figured I would have thought that Shatner would go before she went.
Why?
Women tend to live longer than
There
men.
you go. There you go. I guess that counts or something. I don't know.
I figured, honest to God, I figured that she and George Takei would be the last two standing.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's just a big shock.
Terrible.
Today.
Yeah.
It sucks. Hopefully the month will be done. But yeah, we got some stuff for segment 1. I didn't do shit this week, but I got a fun one. Death of Superman coming back, lame. A little change.
Superman.
Yeah, right. A little change on the Spider-Man comics. A little change over at Substack. Jeff Lemire has a new book coming out next year. And that's it. Food news and reviews. It's light, y'all. Yeah, definitely, Keith. Thanks for stopping by. It is really a sad day, Nichelle Nichols. Here's Taylor. Hey, Tay.
Taylor!
Hey, T. We're live. Do I have the pictures in the right spot? No.
I don't know.
It usually goes like this, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, we were talking about the news today. I was talking about how terrible my month of July was, and then it's like, okay, I'm into August now. I finally made it, and then we get this shit news today about
one
Nichelle
Last
Nichols
day for July. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, she's awesome, dude. Just an amazing person.
Yeah, I mean, one of Star Trek's biggest contributions to sort of pop culture was it was one of the first opportunities a lot of people got to have to see themselves on TV,
Mm-hmm.
And Nichelle Nichols probably did that more so than anyone else in the cast,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, granted, it was the Cold War, and they had a Russian on the bridge. That kind of escapes a lot of people.
Not at first. They had to wait a few seasons for that one.
No, true, yeah, but I mean, it's still. You're coming a little hot too.
Chekhov was not.
So what?
Not an immediate
Your mic's
cast
coming
member.
a little hot.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really sad, but. It's just a basic sort of news show this week, man. San Diego Comic-Con really, for lack of a better term, busting a nut, and now we got nothing. Now it's just a dry season.
Well, I mean, everything's going to seem underwhelming at the week after Comic-Con.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
First woman in the captain's chair. Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. I mean, she ranks up there in sci-fi.
We're also
actors of all time.
We're also overlooking the first interracial kiss on TV.
Yeah, right?
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, she will be missed. Very sad day. And, yeah, I don't know. I was having such a great day and that happened. Yeah, Keith, Nichelle Nichols is a great performer, actress, spokesperson, icon. Yeah, all those things. Just a legend, yeah. But,
yeah, I think we've only got William Shatner and George Takei left at this point.
Well, Walter Koenig.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, yeah. But, yeah, dude. So, oh, well, let's not talk about Shatner. Let's get into the show.
We don't talk about Shatner. No.
Good advice in general.
Fucking hubris.
It's true. Talk about you, Billy.
Nothing but love for George Takei, though.
Oh, dude, nothing but love. I mean, I got love for Shatner, too. It's just I wish he wouldn't run his mouth. Just shut up. He directed the worst fucking Star Trek movie, period. Okay?
He's going to be in that He-Man and Masters of the Universe Revolution.
I heard that. He's got a voice part in that. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. It's another episode of This Geek in Comics Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Gomer Taylor, a.k.a. David, hanging out. How is it going, gentlemen? Did you have a good week? Pretty good week.
Yeah, pretty solid.
I'm having a good week. I'm kind of enjoying like a little time off from work, a little extended time off from work for vacation and stuff. Yeah.
Nice. You'll be here tomorrow night.
Yeah, I will.
Nice. Nice. Yo, yeah, you're definitely invited.
Well, that's the first time in a very long time, I think.
Yeah,
we'll
we get
our
a
double
twofer.
dose of David in a week.
Oh, nice. Two times.
I did.
So what have you been catching up on? TV and stuff?
Well, I did go see Nope.
Fun.
Tuesday.
Cool. I heard it was kind of deep.
It is. I would probably think of it more along the lines of like Jaws, more than an
weird.
alien movie.
Oh, weird.
I think of it more like Jaws instead of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Okay.
So-
Time for the shit talk show. Thanks, Andy. Man, we got a fan. I love Andy. He's great.
Yay!
He's also modding over there at the Outright Geekery group, which is fucking phenomenal. But I took Thursday and Friday off, but I didn't do shit. I just watched old movies and just like chilled, vegged out. Keith, happy 40th anniversary of the Rocketeers debut in comics. Nice. But I mean, we're gonna talk about it.
George Jetson's birthday.
Yeah. Now today is definitely Harry Potter's birthday.
So I saw a headline for this where it was like fans claim George Jetson was born on July 31st, 2022. Is there like an official sourcing for George Jetson's birthday?
Did they get it from the Wikipedia?
No, and as a matter of fact, Wikipedia has actually had to shut off editing of the Jetsons page because people keep going over there and fucking with shit. But it all comes like the show takes place in 2062 because it's 100 years after the events of 1962. And it is shown that in the first episode of the original series, he does say that he is 40 years old, which puts his birth year in 2022. So I guess the July 1st, they're just pulling that out of their ass. I'm sure there are people.
I'm glad we dug deep on the Jetsons lore here to make sure that we got it. One thing I think is interesting, though, is like the visions of the future that people in the past had.
Where's
like,
my motherfucking flying car, Bruce?
Oh yeah, like Back to the Future, like said we'd have flying cars like 7 years ago,
and like go self-play some shoes, man.
Like all things like Quantum Leap and like all like the Lego computer things that they have.
Right.
But honestly, it's interesting the things that I think are actually more impactful than flying cars they didn't get right, like the internet. Like in fucking Back to the Future, they're still using a goddamn fax machine, you know?
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean,
and the bad part is when Back to the Future 2 was around, the internet was in its infancy.
Yeah, it was kind of a thing already, basic sort of interneting, but it wasn't mainstream at all. But
yeah, it was still probably like DARPANET
was
all that.
Yeah,
but I've seen like people like speculate about the Jetsons and how it's like Earth is this like uninhabitable hellscape, and so people have to live in these like cloud cities because the surface is just completely a wasteland at that point.
Right.
I always subscribed to the theory that the surface of the Earth had devolved like into the Flintstones, and so the Jetsons and the Flintstones existed at the same time.
Y'all both got it wrong. Okay, the Flintstones is a post-apocalyptic version of Earth.
Have you guys ever seen the theory that
the future as the Jetsons, or they'd have flying cars that were powered by, George the Feet?
Have you guys ever seen the theory that like the Fallout games are actually a prequel to the Elder Scrolls games?
Yes,
yes,
I have heard that.
I have seen those videos and read that theory.
That's rad. And even if it's not true, it doesn't matter.
Because
what
they're saying is Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and this Starfield or whatever it's coming, are all exist in the same universe.
But Starfield happens first.
No, Starfield happens last.
Oh. Okay. But it's the real world as well. Let's get into the news. Oh man, the post San Diego Comic-Con show is always the worst because I've got nothing. DC is celebrating the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman with the death of Superman somehow. All new stories by the original creative teams. They're introducing a new villain called Doom Breaker. The creative team behind the Death of Superman reunited for 4 all-new stories in the, wait for it, 80-page The Death of Superman 30th Anniversary Special Number 1, available November 8th. Probably
Is this
$10.
supposed to be happening in modern continuity, or
No,
okay?
maybe some of it, but definitely not all of it.
Is there going to be time travel shenanigans?
Oh my gosh, you guys are asking just totally the wrong questions. The only question is why? Why?
Because this is an event that people have heard of, and so they're going to try to milk it for all it's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, the actual story I do have, and it's not terrible, but it's not a particularly good story either.
Yeah, it was definitely that cover and the promotion that pushed this to be a thing that was.
It was a big event, and you know.
It brought a lot of people who didn't get comic books to buy comic books.
Well, everybody
really,
knew who Superman
rack
was.
Up the price of.
Well, sure. Like everyone on Earth knows who Superman is. He's probably the most prominent superhero even today.
Maybe,
and so, yeah, if you get it, and back then, you know, they weren't killing characters, you know, at least quite as frequently as they are now. So it was a big deal when it happened, and they did actually like play it out for a pretty long time afterwards. So
yeah.
You know.
And I don't think it's anything like that, Andy. Andy's in chat. Oh boy, a quote-unquote death of Superman. I think this is more of just like an homage to that original story.
Well, why would they need to introduce a new one?
Say again?
Why would they have to introduce a new character?
Yeah, a new guy. That's a good question. Named Doom Breaker.
Yeah, so that makes that sound like it's some brand new in continuity thing if they're introducing a new character. I don't know.
I got a rundown. There's 4
It's
stories.
Doc Brown trying to save Superman.
Yeah.
Come on, we gotta save Superman.
There's 4 stories making this up. The Life of Superman by Jurgens, Breeding, Anderson, and Workman. A young John Kent finds out in school that his dad had died years earlier, as his parents never told him about that fateful day. In the midst of dealing with this emotional news, John and Clark need to team up to fight a new villain connected to Doomsday called Doombreaker. Now that one sounds like it's in continuity.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this must take place after Dark Crisis then, because isn't Clark supposed to be dead again now?
Thank you. Thanks. Again, I have no idea. It makes no sense. Then they're going to do Standing Guard by Stern, Juice, and Whitmore with Rob Leigh doing letters. The epic battle between Superman and Doomsday from the Guardian's perspective. So that's kind of in continuity, but out because it's a different perspective. Who knows? Time is the name of a story by Simonson, Bogdanove, Whitmore, and Rob Leigh again. It looks like Whitmore and Rob Leigh are just the colorist and letterer on the whole book. The story of how the death of Superman looked from John Henry Irons' perspective, and then Above and Beyond by Jerry Ordway, Tom Grummett, and Doug Hazelwood. A powerful story of Mom and Pa Kent watching their son fight Doomsday live on television and going through Clark's photo albums with the feeling that their son always prevails. That actually sounds like a kind of a sweet sort of story.
Yeah, the first one with John and Clark, and then that last one with Ma and Pa Kent, those actually sound like they could be good stories, I think. And, you know, the other ones sound like they're, you know, all right ideas. So this sounds like it could be
it's going to be
worthwhile.
Expensive. It's going to be
That's the thing, yeah. If this is a $10 book, I don't know that you got me for that, you know?
Yeah. There's also likely to be a whole lot of covers for it, which is also kind of attractive, but we'll see.
Like
we'll see. We'll have more
the
on
original
that.
Death of Superman.
Well, they are reprinting some of those too. Superman 75 and The Death of Superman receive special and collected editions that'll go on sale November 1st and December 6th. So
I first heard about this by seeing them like putting out that bloody Superman crest image like they had for the original one.
And everyone was like, "Oh, finally they're killing off John." And I was like, "Finally? Well, he's been around for like 6 months. Shut up. He just got here. I like John."
Yeah, John's like one of the best books they have going right now.
Yeah. We'll have more on Superman later. Solomon Ahmed is leaving the Miles Morales book. This is a heartbreaker too. This is a real heartbreaker.
It's been a hell of a run.
I like the story heading to Death of Superman, and then when it happened, the after story, no, it turned me off. Sure. Yeah, the lead up to it was a lot better. I think it was over promoted almost. Like everybody made such a big deal out of it. It was never going to live up to that.
As a story, as just here's like a narrative we're telling about Superman, it's pretty mediocre, all told. It's more significant as like a milestone in comics history, and arguably the start of the event cycle, at least eventually. It's a forerunner for things like Civil War, I would say.
It definitely is part of the event cycle in the terms of it doesn't matter what happens in the story. We'll break continuity if we have to. We'll repair continuity if we have to. It really started that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Where it didn't mean shit. It didn't mean anything.
Well, I guess, you're probably right. It would be better to say that it started this trend where, like, something we see in event cycles, right, where they almost always end with, like, one of the major characters, quote-unquote, dying for a while.
Yeah, for sure. All right, back to the Spidey news. Miles Morales, Spider-Man, is going to end the run of Salah Ahmed. He's been on the book since it redid on issue 1, but issue number 42 is like an anniversary sort of issue. It's an oversized special out in September. Just a whole bunch of cool artists on there. He was really gracious in his comments. He actually put this out on his Substack newsletter. And honestly, this has been the best Spider-Man book. Well, ongoing, I guess. There was a Savage Spider-Man and All Out Spidey or whatever the hell it was. That was really good.
I mean, that's almost damning it with faint praise because the Nick Spencer Spider-Man years were not great, but this was legitimately really, really good.
Yeah. Brandon brings up the point about when Bane broke Batman's back. Yeah, perfect comparison there. Perfect comparison to the death of Superman, you know. But yeah, back to Miles Morales. It has been great. It has been really fucking good. Underrated, really, you know. But man, I just love his attitude here. He's so gracious. He mentions Bendis, Pacelli, his collaborators, Nicolo, Javier Garron, Carmen Carnera, Alan Curiel, Pettit, Alfonso O'Keefe, Clark. And yeah, good on him. He really called out everybody, you know, the fans included. So that does lead us to what's next for Salah Ahmed. We know, and we're going to get into this. We have a story about this. We know he's got a Substack deal. We know he's top 10 in the comics section or whatever. He's doing well there. Will he even get another Marvel book? Is he redoing his contract?
Well, I mean, especially with Hickman coming back, I guess you never really say never. But
sure.
Where he can, I feel like he's in a position right now where like the world is kind of his oyster because this wasn't even his first really good run with, Marvel and on DC. He's knocked it out of the park quite a few times. Like that Black Bolt run that he did from like 5 years back. That was really good.
Yeah, he's really done a lot of good. Even though that book really wasn't about Black Bolt, it was still amazing. It was about
arguably not
or some shit.
You could definitely make that strong argument, but
yeah.
Yeah, he is a great writer. He's been knocking it out of the park for years now, and I definitely look forward to seeing where he lands after this.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, Salah Ahmed off Miles Morales. Sad, but I'm definitely picking up that anniversary issue, that 42, issue number 42. So we'll talk about it then. We mentioned Substack. Bleeding Cool is reporting that Nick Spencer, the guy who brought you this amazing moment from Marvel Comics history, is no longer at Substack. So he's now just a freelance guy, doing writing. And he is probably going to have his own Substack project, which is also kind of fucking weird. That's like
not there and he's having a project there.
Well, he was like the guy in charge of bringing in all of these comic creators to the 1 year Comics Pro deal. Right. Those are actually coming to an end. It's been a year, 6-figure advance payments, and subscription royalties. So, yeah. And we did have news a while back that Substack laid off a bunch of staff because they couldn't get any more virtual funding or venture funding. And so this is how these deals were always promoted. And I didn't realize, it never occurred to me that the guy in charge of that department, once those deals were over, his deal's over too. Kind of weird.
A little bit, yeah. So Nick Spencer is a good writer. I mean, I have a I definitely have a negative association with his Captain America run and with his Spider-Man run, but that's not fair to just like let that define his body of work. He's done good a lot of work too, so he probably could end up working at one of the big two again. I honestly have no idea, but you're right that it is peculiar to see the guy who is sort of the poster child for this indie movement in a lot of ways, freelance movement,
no longer in charge of anything. So I mean, I guess this was Substack's plan all along, but I mean, we'll see how that. And I just like it because it's a model that's been evolving, and we've almost been able to watch it evolve in real time. You know, it's very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that was born from the internet and can only exist in the information age. So we do get to watch it as it forms here.
Yeah. I like Nick Spencer's Captain America run. I'll let me take that back. I liked what he was trying to do. He just didn't do it very well. It was maybe a little bit too heavy-handed.
Good ideas that were too heavy-handed and poorly implemented is kind of definitive for his Spider-Man and Captain America runs.
Keith in the chat talking about Ahmed. He'd like to see him go from Miles over to Miguel. I wouldn't have a problem with him picking up anything. I'd like him to move away from Spider-Man and the Spider-Man sort of brand, I think.
I wouldn't want his next project to be Miguel, because like you're saying, he should probably try something that's more of a clean break from what he was doing.
Yeah.
And I get that Miguel's an entirely different character, but maybe get away from the Spider-Men for a minute here.
Yeah.
Give him Fantastic Four.
That'd be cool.
I'd be good with that, but I really think David Pepose is getting Fantastic Four. They still haven't announced that, as far as I know. The new
he
creators
keeps teasing some big thing, but he's not.
Pepose.
I mean, they're going to have to announce it soon. I mean, the next issue that comes out is Hot Glass,
Yeah. Final bit of news again. Substack. Jeff Lemire has announced that Royal City Volume 2 is coming back in 2023. It's going to come out on Image Comics in the fall. It's going to be Royal City Volume 2, The Last Days of Richie Pike. Royal City charts the lives, loves, and losses of a troubled family and a vanishing town across 3 decades. Patrick Pike, a fading literary star who reluctantly returns to the once thriving factory town where he grew up, is quickly drawn back into the dramas of his 2 adult siblings, his overbearing mother, and his browbeaten father, all of whom are still haunted by different versions of his youngest brother, Tommy, who drowned decades ago. And I'm sorry, if that doesn't sound like an amazing drama-filled soap opera, you're wrong. It is. That's exactly what it is. It's Jeff Lemire doing what Jeff Lemire does best.
That sounds like a very Jeff Lemire story.
Yeah, it does have some element of Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, Andy, I would love to see Ahmed go over to Avengers. That is a really good call. Andy in the chat suggesting Fantastic Four, like we said, or the Avengers. And with Jason Aaron leaving, dude, that does open the door for Ahmed.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, I would really like to see him get. He did Champions, I think, for a while, and it was really good. I mean, maybe not. But anyway, I'm Jeff Lemire. I'm the biggest Jeff Lemire fan I know, and I
didn't realize he was drawing this as well. I don't think I ever picked up Royal City, but honestly, you got me at Jeff Lemire. That at least piques my interest, no matter what else you say after that.
It's so just depressing. That's my favorite Jeff Lemire, is when it's just...
He knows how to, get a precision strike on your field,
it's like music in a way. You know how you can listen to a song and it automatically does something? His work is always like that. And it's always this melancholy, depressed awesomeness.
Even going back to Essex County, some of his early stuff, and May's book was probably the most recent example of it. He really knows how to write those stories well.
Did you ever read that May's book?
Yes.
I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm looking to pick up the volume of it sometime.
Yeah,
I did thumb. You got me. You had me thumbing through the issues as they were coming out in the shop, and I could tell. Yeah, this is good. I need to read this in its entirety.
Yeah. Jeff Lemire really working hard. He is exclusive with Image Comics now, which is a weird thing, except for his Substack stuff, which I think it's only 2 books now.
Is he still going to finish that Green Hell book for Black Label?
I have no word on that.
It's been a minute since issue 1 came out.
A while, dude. I don't know what the hell happened to that book, but no, I don't know.
It was a hell of a start.
Yeah, that was a really good book. Talk about depressing. That was a great book.
Mm.
All right, let's do the food.
Yummy.
two terrible ones, but you got to tell me which one is more terrible. The first one, Cinefuego Cinnamon Toast Crunch. General Mills combines sweet cinnamon with fiery spice for the debut of new Cinefuego Toast Crunch.
I don't think those go together terribly well.
If it feels like you would mix like Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Flamin' Hot Cheetos and put them in a bowl of cereal.
Yeah, I don't.
Doesn't
Right.
sound
I don't want
ultimately very
spicy
appealing.
cinnamon.
I don't want that.
Cinnamon's
kind of
already spicy enough.
Well, it's not in Cinnamon Toast Crunch though.
No.
So I'm assuming this is gonna kind of taste like Red Hots. I mean, wouldn't that be the? Isn't that the flavor
Potentially.
kind of pushing here?
Potentially, yes, but
Yeah. Sweet cinnamon flavor is combined with the added hot sensation of spicy pepper to deliver a quote-unquote absolutely absurd experience. I agree 100%. This is absolutely absurd.
Well, I mean, there's nowhere for us to go when they call it absurd in their own advertising.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, they're setting us up.
I agree. Yeah, that's,
Yeah, who wants spicy cereal? Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
it was like when Mountain Dew put that lemon lime chili.
Are these
Yeah.
coming in like they're coming in baggy things? It looks like, not boxes.
Yeah, it comes in a new 5.9 ounce resealable pouch, August 12th, 2022, exclusively at Walmart.com for a limited time, of course, while supplies last. And your other option for food news this week.
Oh God.
Applebee's has released a new wing sauce inspired lip gloss.
I think this is the worst of the two.
This is by far the worst.
I didn't think you were gonna top the spicy cinnamon toast crunch thing, but no, this is worse for sure.
Yeah, this is terrible. Applebee's is partnered with a makeup and skincare brand, Winky Lux, for the creation of new saucy gloss.
Winky Lux.
Yeah, Winky Lux.
Sorry, I'm stuck on that name. They call themselves Winky Lux.
Lux. I know.
Ugh.
So we got oh no. All right, let me rephrase because I want to make sure I get the titles of these different flavors, colors. I don't know, correct. Get Me Hot Buffalo. Creamy coral that packs the hot buffalo spice your ex could never have handled. Yeah, that right there. I don't even want to continue.
That's a rather spiteful way to advertise something.
It really is. Fuck that man. I'm getting
Hey,
my
you would
chicken
say no
wings.
masochist who likes to kiss?
Yeah.
It also hates your ex.
Yeah. Sweet chili kiss, deep, rich red kiss with a hint of fine golden chili specks that put the in makeout. Be My Honey Pepper, a gorgeous golden honey spiced gloss with shimmering flecks that'll make you the queen bee of date night. And finally, Honey Barbecue Tea. Get it? Barbecue tea. A shiny, smoky barbecue with a side of honey sweetness to make your kisses downright craveable.
Sweetie, did
The
you
worst
go to
part-
Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah. Oh, Dan. Yeah, did you eat at Buffalo Wild Wings? You taste like chicken. It has at winkylux.com/saucygloss.
This was a
$18
terrible idea, made worse by those terrible descriptions.
Yeah. I mean, it just kept getting worse and worse as I read it. And I'm like, nah, this one's up there.
And it started bad. Like, it started really bad, and it just kept going down from there.
Yeah, there's the headline, and you're like, oh my gosh. And then Applebee's releases wing sauce inspired lip gloss collection. I mean, every word in that is just worse. And then
Yeah, I mean, when you think you've hit rock bottom, it's...
When the height of your advertising is fat bastard singing baby back ribs, you
I want my baby back. Dude, that would be an awesome commercial. Oh, girl, you smell like chicken.
Get in my belly.
That's so dumb. All right, let's do top three. Man, these are some terrible food news that we've had the past few weeks.
I want to challenge you to do a good one, at least one good one next
It's
week.
hard to find a good one. Yeah, there is no rock bottom. It's hard to find a good one. You know what I mean? Because, oh, great, there's a cool sandwich. Awesome. But I don't know. Anyway, I'll go first this week. I will save my honorable mentions until I do my number two.
So I only got 3 books this week, so...
Dude, it was a terrible week.
It was slim pickings at the shop.
I actually
Very
didn't get a
specific.
copy of one book that I was hoping to get.
That Superman Space Age book was sold out when I got there.
Oh, dude. We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
Variants number 1 is my number 3 book this week. Gail Simone and Phil Noto. It's hard to beat this creative team. A really fun book, well written and beautifully drawn. There's really nothing else to say about it. It's just fun, And on a light week like this week, yeah. Honorable mentions this week from Andy to the $10 Superman issue and TMNT. I did not get to TMNT. Damn it! I didn't get the patch either, but I will probably end up mentioning that. But we're gonna talk about that $10 Superman book at least, a little bit. My number 3 is Hollows. That actually is not a new book. I did some research in that. That actually came out on IDW a while back, and now that Kyle, what the hell's his name? The writer on that book, Chris Ryall, moved away from IDW. He's also taken everything he owns and putting it over at Image for reprints. So, good for him. But yes, that Sam Keith art in Hollows is hard to beat. So again, my number 3, variants number 2, Taylor.
No honorable mentions since I did not have enough for honorable mentions. Some that probably would have been an honorable mention most week is my number 3, Wolverine patch number 4. I do genuinely think this is fun. I mean, it's a Larry Hama book. That's really about all I can say about it, and all you probably need to know. It's very corny, it's very goofy, but in an endearing way.
Yeah.
So it's Wolverine going around stabbing motherfuckers in the jungle.
It kind of sucks that there weren't any X-Men books this week. That's it. That was the only
It's peculiar.
Oh, Gambit came out.
I didn't pick that up.
I didn't read it either.
But I mean, with so many X titles out there, it is kind of weird to have like an otherwise empty X week there.
Dude, for sure. D. Honorable mentions.
All right. Well, Andy's already knocked out 2 of my honorable mentions.
Oh, this one? Oh, yeah. Andy did. Hollow and the Superman book.
No, the Superman book and TMNT.
Well, we're going to talk about the Superman book in a little bit.
But I like Mark Russell. I like Mike Allred. Just this kind of this book didn't click. The $10 Superman book just didn't click with me. I mean, there was a lot of fun stuff going on in it, but it wasn't worth making my top 10. The Ninja Turtles 131. We have the Shredder teaming up with the Turtles to teach them how they're going to be able to fight in the Armageddon game.
Nice. We're still building up. It feels like such a slow burn to build up to that thing.
The Turtles are Leonardo definitely has issues, and some other allies of the Turtles have issues with Shredder coming in to basically fulfill a promise to Hamato Yoshi.
Oh, okay.
And the Armageddon game, I guess he knows the secret dark arts of the ninja, and he is teaching the Turtles.
Oh, evil turtles.
Well, they're not evil turtles. It's just that
they're doing evil shit.
They're not doing evil shit. It's just as he explained it, the Armageddon game is unlike anything you will ever face, and you are not prepared for this challenge, and that's why I am here to fulfill my promise to Hamato Yoshi.
Nice.
And then my last honorable mention this week is going to be the Ant-Man number 1. I like it. A lot going on in there. You got a lot of time jumping and stuff, but I did like the whole putting the ants in the popcorn and pranking the punks.
I like
the
presentation of it.
I like it. It's just
this was actually my number 1, so I'll talk more about it later. Just let's move on to something you actually like, David.
Yeah, alrighty. My number 3 pick is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance number 10.
Is my number 2, brother.
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
This guy.
I'm gonna have to retire this book. It could be my number or on my top 3 every damn time it comes out.
He just basically is like putting these motherfuckers down left and right.
It's like an action movie, dude.
It is
awesome.
He is just laying waste to these motherfuckers, and there's like I've said before. This is art that's telling the story.
Yeah.
These guys are here to assassinate him, and he is just cleaning their clocks. Yeah, it's crazy.
Awesome, dude. It's awesome.
I love it.
Let me just go ahead and spit this too, because this was my number 2 this week. This is your number 3. Man, You'll probably talk about some of these books, but my honorable mentions were all Image, Public Domain 2, Sins of the Black Flamingo 2.
I did not get a copy of Sins of the Black Flamingo.
Oh, it was cool, dude. It was cool. Beware the Eye of Odin number 2. I mean, Image Comics is just fucking killing it lately. They had so many damn good books out this week.
Image has been on a real good tear here lately.
Yeah, Andy bringing up Public Domain, definitely on my mentions, dude. So good. Just fantastic. But yeah, I got to give it up to you, Dave. This was a great book. Reminder Araujo and Crystal Halloran. Just, man, I'm going to have to retire this book. It is that good.
I may have to really start considering retiring this book. It's a tempo. This is an evergreen title for me.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So yeah, excellent choice, Dave. That was his number 3, mine number 2. Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, number 10. Pick that up if you can find the trades. Well, you can find the trades, but if you can find it in issues, this thing's going somewhere. All right, I think this would make a perfect adaptation. Just a straightforward, just hard-boiled sort of action.
Movie. This has definitely got Amazon Prime TV on it, Netflix
for sure,
HBO. Somebody should pick this property up.
Yeah, excellent choice, Taylor. Up to you for number 2.
Again, kind of a slow week for me, but my number 2 was Captain America: Symbol of Truth. Number 3. I will say the whole inclusion of Doctor Doom seems like a pretty shameless way just to have a popular character on the cover. He just has one conversation with Sam at the beginning, and then he just leaves. Yeah. Doom really had nothing to contribute by being in this book. That being said, though,
the art is amazing.
The art is amazing. That is the main reason why this made the number 2 this week. Silva's art from beginning to end, even in scenes where it's just people having conversations like that, he is doing killer stuff with it.
Yeah, everybody looks great, man.
Yeah, the action scenes look good, and even just standing around chewing the fat scenes look pretty good.
But yeah, I agree with you. Deadpool's in it, and I'm like, why?
Deadpool and Dr. Doom both did not need to be here.
Yeah, and it's like,
they
why?
Really did not contribute anything to the story.
Yeah. Still, I like the fact that there's 2 Captain America books. I really think things are going in good directions for both of them. I just would rather them get there faster.
Yeah.
Than how they are. So yeah, good.
Well, I mean, it's only issue 3, but
yeah, good choice. Good choice. Dave, that's come to you for number 2.
My number 2 is Public Domain number 2.
Nice choice.
Just we have there.
Not a lot happens.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn for this, but it is pushing the story forward. The family is deciding whether or not to go forward with a lawsuit to reclaim the copyright of the character.
Yeah.
And I think
that's it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of family drama that's really intimate and fun here. Really,
the mother in here probably makes the most poignant points of the book. She's basically telling the husband that it's time that you need to take a little bit better care of your creations, both your fictional and real ones.
Yeah.
And that just pulled at the heartstrings, that she's been there through everything, and now there's a chance that there's a big payoff for it, and he could get the recognition he deserves.
And I think that's more about it,
Yeah.
She doesn't understand. Look, you've been doing this shit your whole life. You've created all of these wonderful things, but it's like you don't give a fuck about anything you've created. And she's using that to talk about, yes, his work in comics, but also his own family. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, it's really intimate, dude. It's really like Chip Zdarsky speaking from somewhere that he understands, that he's been through.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers in this onion.
Yeah.
I'll just put it that way. But this was a great book. I was kind of a little bit put off by the confrontation between the son and the CEO.
They're both in bad places. The CEO is an asshole by default, and the son is, trying to do anything to make his life better.
I kind of felt that was tipping your hand just a little too early.
Maybe, yeah. You're not wrong.
But ultimately, pretty good this week. That was pretty good.
Yeah, great book. Zdarsky's writing the most popular book on the planet. So he's, by default, the most popular writer on the planet of comic books. So, yep, good for him. All right, that gets us to number 1. I've been teasing it. I picked it up. It was a shitty week for comics, so it was on. I had space, and it worked for me, dude. Russell Allred. In the solicits for this, it teases the series promises fans an unforgettable journey through U.S. history and culture,
and it delivers.
It delivers on exactly that. This kind of felt like Final Fantastic Four Life Story, if anyone remembers that book. It was a long read, but it was full of Russell's typical style of comparing and contrasting like history and culture from now and then. Here, I'll show you just a little bit of what he's got in here. Confederate flags. Bus buses, Wallace, looking
the
at
segregation, the
a lot
bus
of
riders,
that going on in there. Yeah.
The line sitters and all that. All that civil rights movement. That we have the assassination of Kennedy.
Yeah.
Just a
it
bunch
moves
of
through
stuff.
all of history,
Oh yeah, it was moving through the 60s right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I mean. All of the 60s, and then
a lot of history happened in the 60s.
Well, exactly.
But
it's also got these great flashbacks with Pa Kent talking about how when he was in World War II, sort of building up the greatest generation and comparing them to the boomers, and it's subtle as fuck, but it's in pure Russell fashion. He's really killing it. And then we get Allred, doing what Allred does. Look at that, just genius comic booking there. Just genius comic booking there. Andy's number 1 was The Sins of the Black Flamingo. Fantastic book this week, dude. Fantastic book. But, this might be a little bit better once it's all collected. Because it's going to be 3 giant issues. You know what I mean?
This didn't click with me when I read, after reading other books, this just didn't click.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I was looking forward to... I would have liked to have picked this up if I had gotten a chance. I definitely love that creative team, and at this point, I'll probably look for the volume to come out. But it looks pretty rad.
It is really rad. I was surprised, that I enjoyed it so much, and then with such a light week, by the end of the week, that was the first book I read, like early in the week, and by the time I got to that bottom of my stack, I was like, well, shit, that was the best book I read this week. Fucking Mark Russell doing what Mark Russell does best,
I try to organize things that I save like the best for last if I can.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm a dessert first person. Well, my top 3 and all the mentions all interchangeable. Yeah, for sure, Andy. And that's how basically we are here. Basically interchangeable. But an Image just killed it this week. But we still got Taylor and David number 1.
My number 1 is Ant-Man number 1. Yeah. I am a sucker for these stories that homage previous eras of comics, and that they did an excellent job with that one here. Ant-Man's Rogues Gallery has not stood the test of time, so I had no idea who these fuckers were that he was squaring off against here.
Terrible.
But Riley here did great. I love the transition in the artwork, right? Like the futuristic style that we're starting it off with, and then he goes back in time to the Silver Age, and we're seeing Hank Pym square off with all these, motherfuckers, whoever they are. I legitimately don't know. And
Master.
Everything from the narration to the presentation to the art itself to the dialogue, it all was just so spot on Silver Age, and I love that about this book. So that's what made it my number 1. Also, I love these covers. I mean, I'm looking forward to kind of having a complete set here with all the different Ant-Men.
Nice.
I also thought it was kind of fun, having Eric O'Grady just be this obnoxious piece of shit. That's his whole character, is he's an obnoxious piece of shit. But it was kind of cool seeing young Eric here.
He's my favorite Ant-Man.
Well, that's because you're an obnoxious piece of shit.
That's right.
But either way.
You know who invented him, right?
I do not.
What's his name? Kirkman.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Obnoxious piece of shit.
Kirkman invented the obnoxious piece of shit. Only Rob Liefeld could one up that motherfucker.
I can see it. But they also worked in Scott, being just Deus Ex Machina, basically, in this story. But Deus Ex Machinas were in Silver Age stories, so I'm going to give him a pass on that.
It worked as a...
It was a fun way to bring in another Ant-Man, so yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun, stylized book. I didn't mind it at all. It just, I don't know. It was just okay. But, no, the Riley work on there that you mentioned, all the design work and the panel layouts and moving everything along and the homage to the Silver Age is definitely all correct. So... All right, that leaves us to Dave wrapping it up with his number 1 this week.
My number 1 is Radiant Red number 5.
Okay.
This was the final.
I wasn't sure which one you were gonna pick, so I put them all on one.
This was a great capstone to what has been a fun series.
Nice.
Everything kind of gets tied up in a nice bow. Satomi kind of, I believe that's her name, Satomi. She makes some very hard decisions with her and her boyfriend, and what she does to win over the mastermind and some of the goons is pretty astounding. But there's just some very nice line art in here where she and Schiff, which is the guy in green on Radiant Black right there, the foreground, they get into a fight, and there's just this big old 2-page splash where she is knocking the shit out of him.
Yeah.
They are fighting. It was great. And it kind of just wraps up a lot of loose ends of the story.
Well, that's always nice.
It was probably, I was just really pleased with how it turned out, and that's the reason why it's my number 1 pick this week.
Nice. Well, and it was a rather light week. I mean, what are they calling this? The Radiant Universe? I don't know what the fuck.
I'm not sure what the official name of it is,
yeah,
but they're all connected.
It's really amazing that they've been able to pull something off like this at Image Comics, in the modern age. It's really fucking amazing. And yeah, I like shit like that. Even if I'm not really enjoying the books so much, I like the idea that those books exist. So awesome. Great show, guys. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Check out the Bullies. They'll be on later on tonight doing their pop culture stuff, talking about movies and things like that. We're coming back tomorrow. Dave will be here for the preview show. We're going to talk about all of the new books coming out this week. And it's a much better week this week than it was last week. Go to outrightgeeker.com for all of the different stuff we've got going on. There is links to everything we do, all of our social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that shit. Andy chimed in saying good night. Andy, as always, thanks for stopping by.
Good night, Andy.
If you go to the Outright Geekery Facebook group, which is linked at outrightgeekery.com, check it out. Andy is streaming and doing a lot of fun stuff over there. So, again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. But most of all, thanks to these jokers for hanging out with this joker.
Always fun.
We are going to do it again.
That was unplanned.
Yeah, we said the same thing. It was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
In the same wavelength there, Dave.
Yeah, I can barely hear you guys.
You just don't pay attention to anything we say, do you?
Dude, you hit